Hey all, welcome back to another episode of 2 Minutes to Review. I'm Matt.
And I'm Zach.
The album reviews that we do in under 2 minutes, longest album review in under 2 minutes wins. This time we are doing something very special, and we didn't think that this would be possible considering all of the mass press that the band has gotten. You clicked on the picture, you know it's SystemOfADown. This time they released two brand new songs, Protect the Land and Genocidal Humanoidz.
To raise awareness for a really important cause, and it's one that you know that's always been close to their hearts too. And you know it's really important that after, as you alluded, Matt, that after 15 years of pretty much saying in the press, oh, we can't agree on anything, we can't record, we can't even agree on how we would write new music. They came together, they put aside their differences for two songs. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's two new songs from one of the most unique metal bands out there. I'm actually still shocked that this is even happening, to the point that I didn't want to rush to do a review. I needed a little time to just process that this was a real thing. I don't know how you felt about that, Matt, but
yeah, I mean, immediately when it came out of left field for me, I was like, why is people posting this random statue thing in SystemOfADown? Like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, I come to see that they released two brand new songs, and immediately the first thing in my mind, or the first two things in my mind were A, we have to do a review on it, and B, I can't wait to hear these things. So here we are, 2020, the year where literally things are happening, whether they're good or not, things are happening. And I'm going to say this, and I was going to put this in my review. Actually, no, I'm going to save it for my review because I want to make sure that I just want to make sure that I've got enough content and I go as close to 2 minutes as I can without going over like you like to do. But
you know what? Yeah. Just for that, I'm going first. How about that?
All right, fine. If you want to go first, let's do this. You ready?
Count me down.
3, 2, 1. Chop suey.
All right. Let's be honest right up front. These two new songs are glorified B-sides. I'm sorry, but I honestly wish that Damon actually never admitted that the song Protect the Land was originally going to be for Scars on Broadway, a project that I love. But as soon as I heard that statement and then I heard the song, all I could hear was that, okay, this is a Scars on Broadway song with some backing vocals from Serj. And Genocidal Humanoidz, between the two songs, definitely sounds more like classic SOAD at its peak. But the problem is that it still lacks an energy and grit, specifically in the vocal department. And you can almost hear how unenthused Damon and Serj feel about sharing vocal harmonies again. And that's really a shame, because one of the things that made SystemOfADown so special, especially toward the later years, and Mesmerize, I'm going to say right now, is one of my favorite albums of all time, still is. What made that album in particular so special was just they're harmonizing together, they're sharing the vocals, and it's just, you can tell in these two songs that the energy and the care is just not the same. However, these two songs do prove a statement I've been making as far back as Steal This Album. SystemOfADown's B material is still way more superior than most bands' A game. And I always felt that, like, SystemOfADown could release a mediocre song and it sounds better than most bands. So at the very least, I'm glad that these songs reinforce that theory. And it's still a lovely treat. If you are a diehard SystemOfADown fan who's really been holding out any hope over these past 15 years, you'll still enjoy this.
Okay. We have our time.
All right.
Score?
I'm going to say 3.5. They are glorified B-sides. And unfortunately, it does remind me why maybe it's not a terrible thing that SystemOfADown aren't as active in the studio. But it does also reinforce, like I said, the theory that a mediocre SystemOfADown song is still way better than a lot of other bands' A material. That's just how special SystemOfADown is, that they could still release something half-assed and it still sounds better than most stuff. So just my 2 cents. Now, Matt, are you ready?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Pogo.
I'm going to say this first and foremost. None of this is a knock on the message that System of a Down is trying to deliver through these songs. That message is extremely powerful, extremely to the core of what System of a Down is. This is strictly from a musical perspective. So I would give what they are trying to do 10 stars, 11 stars, whatever you want to call it. This is a great thing that they are bringing to light in a time where it needs to be brought in. So from a musical perspective, this sounds, like Zach alluded to, like B-sides. This could have been something cut and left on the floor from Hypnotize, Mesmerize. I didn't know about the Scars on Broadway thing. I tried to just keep it to, what did I think about these songs? And Protect the Land definitely sounds like, I want to say, a late day Guns N' Roses around the spaghetti incident, because it sounds just so like we don't want to be doing this together, but we know what the cause is. We know that it's, this means a lot to us and we have to get the message out there. So it just sounds like their vocals on here are very just like, all right, let's get this done and get this out. We don't want to be here. And they've even said since that there are so many things that they can't agree on musically. I'm surprised that they got 2 songs out the door without killing each other. But it definitely sounds more like they want to be together on Genocidal Humanoidz than it does on Protect the Land. But Genocidal Humanoidz, I feel like, lacks a focus that is there with Protect the Land. Maybe if, they sat down and talked a little bit more about what they were, what the whole direction of these songs was going to be, maybe it would have came together a little bit better. Maybe if there was more compromise in the room. But once again, it all sounds like System of a Down is really just forcing this out there for a very worthwhile message that if you don't know much about, go check out System of a Down's website and read what the message is behind these songs. And I agree. I think you'll agree that you should at least donate to this cause because it is such a great cause.
All right. So star ranking.
2.
Wow. The Guns N' Roses comparison really stings, but rings true, because I think you really can hear the split between the members, at least between Serj and Damon.
Oh my God. It is incredible when you listen to Protect the Land, how Serj just sounds like, so we protect the land. It honestly, doesn't, he doesn't sound.
If you told me he wasn't on the song, I'd believe you.
Yeah. You have to listen really close. And this is one of the things that I always didn't like about late day System of a Down, Hypnotize and Mesmerize, is when you start getting into, what was it? Which was the later one? Hypnotize or Mesmerize? I forget.
I mean, they came out in the same year, but Hypnotize came afterwards.
Okay.
I always said that Mesmerize is the superior album. Hypnotize was like, all right, these are the B-sides that they just want to let on the floor.
So with Hypnotize, you can really hear, like in Mesmerize, they were like on equal playing fields as far as lead vocals go. But then when you got to Hypnotize, it definitely was Damon taking over and Serj was sitting in the background. And this one sounds like they took that even further and Damon was pushed further up in the mix and Serj was dropped even further down. And it makes sense when you say that some of this stuff was for Scars on Broadway, which is Damon's band. Yeah. So he wanted to really take the lead on it. And from listening to how great early System of a Down was with just Serj on vocals, it really started to bum me out the more and more they shifted away from just Serj being on vocals. And on here, it really feels like Serj was kind of just like, let's just get this done and get out of here.
But it's funny because I don't think Damon sounded that much more enthused either.
No, they don't sound enthused.
Neither of them sound enthused.
But Serj is just like, to me, if I could picture Serj in this, it's just, all right, I know where I stand in this. Let's just do this. Yeah.
Honestly, the only 2 people who sound enthused are Shavo and John. At least they're, I don't know. I think I still like it because I am such a diehard System of a Down fan. I can at least appreciate it for it being stuff that sounds like it was left off of either Steal This Album or Hypnotize. But yeah, it's, to your point, the message is true, and that's probably the message and the reasoning for the songs is probably the most true part of this entire project.
100%. Once again, none of this is a knock on that message and what they're trying to accomplish, because it's something that needs to be brought to light. And if anybody can do it for Armenia, it's System of a Down.
Absolutely. But you know what? None of that matters. Well, the messaging matters, but none of our thoughts matter. What really matters is who had the best time. So, Matt, what was my time?
Your time comes in at probably one of the best times that you've had.
Woo!
At 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your time?
If I had to put my finger on it, I probably think I came in at like 1:15 or 1:30.
Well, you're way off.
Oh.
You came in at 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
Oh, all right. Well, look at that.
You were very well. You should have kept the important PSA. But no, it is important to say because I think that also speaks volumes as well. Yeah, that's all you can really say is that at least they did it for a really good cause. But you know what? Like I said, our opinions really don't matter. What do you think? Do you agree with what we think of the two new songs? Do you disagree? Do you have a different take on it? Let us know on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Epic Footnote. We want to hear from you. And thanks so much for listening.
See ya.